Good morning, welcome to Tuesday morning Pilates. Again, it is another glorious day in lockdown. Hope you had a good weekend, hope you continue to train and be active. Again, we're going to continue working through some of the things that we've worked on already through these Tuesday morning classes. Focus is going to be predominantly lower body with some upper ab control work as well. So again, we'll continue to work hard. Again, please, as always, leave me some feedback if there's things that need to be harder, want more challenges, etc. Again, do let me know. Otherwise, have fun and yeah, enjoy. Alright, so we're going to start at one end of our mat. We're going to start with some walkouts, again, start to get you moving. So deep breath in, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, fill up your lungs, breathe out. Bring your hands down to the floor, bending the knees if you have to, if you need the range. But you're going to bring your hands to the floor and then you're going to walk out into a press up position. Hold here, take a deep breath in, breathe out, walk the hands back, so you come all the way back up to a starting position. Deep breath in, breathe out, hands down to the floor, out into a press up position. Deep breath in, breathe out, and walking back. One last time, deep breath in, breathe out, hands down to the floor, and walking out into that press up position. As we hold this press up position this time, just allow your body weight just to shift from left to right, getting a bit more weight into each arm as you do that little shift. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Drop down onto your knees and sink your weight back, hips down to your heels, chest to your knees, into a child's pose stretch. Some people like to get wide at the knees, it helps them get their chest lower. That's the aim of the game here, is we're trying to get a bit of stretch through your back, so do allow yourself to extend with the arms. Feel like you're trying to get your head and chest as low to the ground as we can. Enjoy the stretch and make it comfortable. Again, little rock from side to side. Good. Back up onto your hands and knees, and from here we're going to go into a thread the needle stretch, okay? So, left arm comes between the right arm and the right leg, knuckles up, and we're just going to push it away, all the way until the shoulder touches down. Enjoy the stretch through the side of the torso. Relax, coming back up, pushing through the right arm. And again, the left arm extends, just glides along the floor, shoulder down, enjoy the stretch, and coming back. We're going to do that one more time. Pushing away, really extend into that stretch until the shoulder touches down, pause, and coming back. Lovely work. Same onto the other side now. So right hand comes between the left hand and the left leg, push the knuckles away, slide the knuckles along the floor until your shoulder gets down to the floor, and coming back in. Push that arm away, keep pushing until you get a really nice stretch into that left hand side of the torso. And again, we're going to do that a third and final time as well. Pushing away, keep going all the way until the shoulder touches down. 3, 2, 1, and coming back. Good stuff. Walk the hands back in, standing yourself up. We're going to go to the top end of your mat now. We're going to do a lunging hip flexor stretch, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to step back so that one knee is down. We want to have this slightly extended lunge position, okay? So take a slightly longer lunge than normal. From here, we're just going to lean forward. Deliberately, left leg is nice and wide, right leg is nice and wide as well. So we've got a little bit of diagonal shape between our legs. This enables us to have a bit of room to push the left leg wide, lean forward, squeeze the glute, push forward into that hip flexor. You should feel the stretch into the front of your right leg. Do just gently lean into it. Don't push your ribs forward. We want to think about your whole torso leaning forward. So squeeze your glutes, lean your chest forward as you push the hips forward, and enjoy the stretch into the hip. Hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to switch legs. So left leg goes back, right leg comes forward. Same movement, lean forward, right knee wide, left leg slightly staggered and out. To give that little bit of width, squeeze your glutes, push the hips forward. You're going to feel the stretch into the front of your left hip this time, okay? So again, just gently lean into it until you feel a bit of a stretch. If you don't feel much of a stretch through your hips as you do this, lucky you. Enjoy it. Just enjoy some of these movements, but a lot of people get a lot of tightness in the hips, so enjoy the stretch if you do. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do that again on each side. So again, switching legs, squeeze the glutes, lean forward, getting that stretch into the front of your hip. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to switch one more time. And again, lean right into it. 3, 2, 1, and standing up. Good stuff. Find something just to balance with. Take a big swing of the leg forward and back. Going into a hamstring swing, so try to keep hips and up nice and stable. Let the legs swing. On the way forward, you're going to feel a bit of hamstring stretch if you're a bit tight. On the way back, you're going to squeeze your glute to push the leg behind you. As you do this, make sure there's nothing to kick. In this case, for me, a sofa or a giraffe. Keep that stability. Squeeze into your abdominals. Think about all the things that you've done in these few weeks of doing all of these Pilates sessions, about how we create that stability, okay? We're going to do some more in a minute. Switching legs. We're going to work on that deep core activation that we've challenged a few times in these classes. See if you can start to get really, really good at using your deeper abdominals. That's going to make you stable, make you stronger, get a lot more out of your abdominal and core exercises. Try and get a big swing so you feel the stretch into the back of your legs. Again, making sure to be careful not to kick anything. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very nice. Okay, so still going to warm up a little bit more through the legs. So we're going to take a squat position. Okay, feet slightly wider than your hips. Feet slightly turned down. We're just going to squat down about halfway. And all we're going to do here is get used to shifting our weight a little bit onto one side. So we're just going to allow ourselves to just shift our weight a little bit from side to side. Try to stay low as we feel comfortable through this movement. Now as you get more and more comfortable, you can start to think about being further down. And again, this is very individual. You don't feel comfortable getting right down into the bottom of the squat, you don't have to be in the bottom of the squat. I want you to keep your heels down and just allow yourself to be at the bottom and just rock from side to side at any point. If you can get to your range, you're probably going to feel a stretch right at the top of the inner thighs. That's what we're trying to do. So take a little break and then we do it again. Drop right down into it and take that little movement from side to side. Good, lovely stuff, standing up. Now we're going to do that one more time. This time we're going to do it forward and back, okay? So you can do it along your mat, if that works best for you, or you can do it forward and back across your room, wherever you've got the room to do it. So squat down to wherever you feel a good position is. This time, wherever your best position is, just lift your heels just a fraction, and then see if you can stay low, and then walk forward and back. So a tiny little bounce into the step, coming forward, and a tiny little bounce into the step, coming back. Coming forward, and coming back. Good, stand up, shake the legs out, and do it again. Now again, important, your range is your range, not mine. So again, get to where you feel comfortable. It's only a little bit down, that's fine. We're just getting used to being flexed and taking tension around the legs, okay? So again, a little walk forward if we can. And back. Good, lovely work. Just shake the legs out. Like we did earlier, we did a leg swing. This time we're going to do it side to side, okay? So I'm going to face the wall again for balance. Swing the leg in front and out to the side. Again, trying to keep the top half of my body as still as I can, stretching into the outside of my hip as the leg lifts out to the side of the room. And switching legs, I'll do this around the other side. So again, make sure when you lift that leg, you're not going to tilt your body. Think a bit about your core stability as that leg swings across and out. It will always be easier with something to stabilize you. So use a wall, anything you have available to make sure you're nice and stable. Good, lovely work. Last exercise in our prep, and then we'll get into the hard work. Alright, so lying down flat onto your back form, we're going to go into a pelvic tilt, into a bridge, and then we challenge you from here. So, if you've done a few of these classes, you should be good with this now, okay? I'm expecting good things. Hands by your side. Think about the movement, pulling down through your ribcage, tilt your hips, squeeze your glutes and abs, flatten the back, roll the hips so your glutes lift 1 inch off the floor, and then back down. Knees and feet are hip width apart. Knees can be fraction wider if you feel more comfortable there. I don't want them to fall together. Just create this tilt and engagement so your backside lifts off 1 inch and back down. Little tilt and back down. And you should now, if you put your hands on your hips, Start to get comfortable with that tilt and roll through your spine. If you find that this movement, this bridge, this roll, this pelvic tilt movement is still difficult, you're struggling to get it, send me a message, let me know, and I can give you a few points on how to do it. It's imperative that you start to get this. And if you've been doing these classes, you should be getting more and more comfortable with it. As your glute and your core strength increases, you should be becoming even better at doing this. As you start to get comfortable with that movement, little pause at the top and feel your glutes, feel your abdominals. You should be able to really obviously feel them working, okay? We're gonna keep going, a little tilt and back down. But each repetition now, you're gonna start to increase your height that you lift up. So you almost start to extend a little bit through the spine as well as you get to the top of the range. Important, don't start with that movement, start with that pelvic tilt, squeeze your glutes, and that drive of your hips extends the spine as a result. Towards the end, you're going to start to come right up high, almost to the point where you're going to come right up onto your shoulders. Again, as you come up, what I don't want to see is the rib cage driving the movement and a curve of your back. We want the opposite. We want that flattening of the back, tilt, almost a peeling of your spine off of the floor. So it's driven from the glutes, and you should be able to feel them. They should be rock hard. Abs should be really engaged at the top as well. We're going to go for about another 30 seconds here. And again, really important that your glutes and hamstrings and abs are really engaged and active. So you are going to work really hard through today's set. Good. If you want more of a challenge, take your hands across your chest. Remove them from the floor. The floor will give you some stability. This will mean that those glutes have to work just that little bit harder again. 3 more. Good. 2 more. Good. 1 more time. Drive up to the top. Squeeze your glutes. Hands across your chest if you can. Drop down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. So almost relaxing that squeeze and then contract. Relax, contract. Relax, contract. And that contraction is that tilt. Hands on your hips. Feel that motion. Try and tilt back to the top. You'll get more glutes. You almost feel a little bit of hamstrings. Abs should start to engage. Feel those muscles if you need them to work. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely stuff. Hug one knee in, give it a good squeeze. Hug the other leg in, give it a good squeeze. And again, switch legs. And switching one more time. Good, okay, so now we've got that pelvic tilt set. We're now going to think about how we get that deep ab engagement, okay? So, again, flatten your back just like we were a second ago. Knees bent, feet slightly closer to you this time. Deep breath in. We've been through this many times, you should be perfect at it by now. Deep breath in, fill your lungs. From there, breathe out, reach forward, lift up through the head and chest. Don't tuck the chin, lift, pull through your abdominals. Pull your lower back down, flatten through your back, and breathe out. All the air. Keep going, until your body wants to get a little cough because there's no air left. Relax all the way back down. Deep breath in. Breathe out and reach. Pull through your abdominals. You should be getting stronger. You should feel that you're getting more and more range each repetition that you do. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. All of the air until you get that little cough. And back down. Good, 45 seconds, let's go. Deep breath in. And breathe out. Reach forward, pull through your abdominals. Keep breathing out. Good, if you get that movement correct, if you get the tilt, if you breathe all the air out, you will feel those upper abs really engaged. You'll get a little shake. That is perfect. Good, 20 seconds to go, nearly there. Good, time for one more. Deep breath in. Breathe out.
Lift through the head and chest, extend up, pull yourself up as much as you can, pull your belly button down, keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing, and relax. Hug the knees in, both legs this time. Good squeeze, little rock from side to side. Should be starting to get more comfortable with that. That is what we want. Okay, good. So abs engaged, glutes nice and set, hamstrings a little loose. Now we're going to go into our first challenging exercise, okay? So we're going to do some clam shells. And again, if you've been doing these classes, you'll know that I do them a little bit differently. And again, we want to really get those glutes fired up. They're not going to get too fatigued. We want to get them really, really working, because then we're going to challenge you through some lunging movement and some hamstring curls as well. Okay, so lying on your side, elbow bent, hand supports the head. Again, I do not want to see the knees tucked forward in front of you. We don't want this flexed hip position. We want the feet tucked back behind you. Okay, so on a straight line, shoulder, hip to knee. Feet together, little lean forward. So a little bit of weight shifts forward so that that right knee pushes down into the ground. From there, push the right knee into the ground, keep the heels together, and lift the left knee up towards the ceiling. In this clamshell opening movement, and back down. And again, lifting up, and back down. This motion, this external rotation of the hip, comes from the left glute, okay? And your glutes do work together, along with your abs, all in that same motion. So as you lift the left leg up, push that right knee down into the ground, that's only going to help that left glute work a little bit harder. It's important as we do this that your abs are still engaged as well, okay? So think about where your right hand side of your tummy is. If you take your left hand there, if you do the next couple of reps, as you lift that knee up, is there a gap? There should be a little gap. You should be able to create a little bit of abdominal squeeze there. The more your abs are engaged, the more your glutes are going to work as well. So don't just allow yourself, as the leg lifts, to drop your body weight into the ground. Keep that set position. Shouldn't take you too long to start to feel a little bit of burning sensation into that left glute. If you feel anything into your left hip, chances are you're just leaning back a little bit. So sometimes you can just roll yourself forward a little bit more than you expect, and that's just going to help you keep that work into that left glute. There is more than one glute muscle, so it's important that we work them in different ways. So that means a little bit of stability through the glute as well. So what I want you to do is keep that little lean forward, lift both feet up, and then continue with that motion. Top leg lifting away, creating this clamshell motion. If you need to pop the hand on the hip to stabilize the hip, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, on the floor in front to stabilize your position is absolutely fine. Keep the heels together, push the right knee down as that left leg wants to lift away towards the ceiling. Again, shouldn't be long now before that glute really starts to kick in. This is the smaller stabilizing glute, so it won't be quite as low into the big part of your glute, it'll be a little bit higher up into the side of your glute. So enjoy that feeling of a different muscle working. Again, this small glute really important for stability when we're standing, especially when we're on one leg, when we're lunging. It's important, it's why we're getting it really active now. Relax, bottom leg drops down, top leg straightens, okay? From here, all we're gonna do is create some circles. Almost imagine you have a pencil in between your toes and we're creating a circle. Now if the first thing you do when you create this movement is feel a bit of tension in your IT band, you fit down the side of your leg, just soften the knee a fraction and continue with that motion. Now as you bring the heel back, squeeze your glute. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a deep breath. Lift the leg back up, and this time we go around the other way. Again, keeping that little bit of softness in the knee if you need to. Keeping that, imagining you've got a pencil in between your toes and you're trying to draw a circle. Good. Relax. Back the other way again. Should be getting a little tired.
3, 2, 1. We're going to switch back the other way one last time. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. To stretch that out, keep your right leg where it is. Bring your left foot as close to you as you can. Bring it in, use the mat to stop it sliding, and then just gently push away through the inner thigh to feel the stretch. If you lack a bit of flexibility, you may find it difficult to get the leg there, in which case you can always turn onto your back and cross that leg over. And again, you shouldn't need to do much more to enjoy that stretch around your hip. You can pull the right leg in towards you if you need to for that stretch. Good, just hold into that stretch for me for a little bit longer. Good, nice to see a few more of you joining in. Coffee Lefty, Soren, good to see you. MSESL, Jolie, good to see you. Hattie's here as well, fantastic. And Laura and Angela, good stuff. All right, good. Luckily you got 2 legs. So we're gonna go straight into the other side from again. Should be feeling that a little bit now. If you stand up, shake the legs out a little bit, should be able to feel it. That's a positive thing. We want that, okay? We want to feel that those glutes are really, really engaged. Then we won't get too fatigued while we're just lying down, while we're not putting too much load into them. But it means that when we go into our lunges and I do a hamstring curl shortly, you're really, really going to feel them, okay? So, lying onto your side for me. And again, don't want those knees forward, you want them tucked back, okay? Hand can be on the hip if you need to, feet tucked back behind you. Heels together, top leg lifts up, and comes back down. Just creating this little motion of opening and closing from the top leg, okay? Now important that we're not rolling back as we do it, because that's just cheating. So again, keep that hand on your hip, stabilize your hip position. So it is just the glute working to lift and create this external rotation. Think about pushing this left leg down into the ground. The more that left leg pushes down, the more the glutes are going to work in that position. Still think about using your abs. Again, I don't want you just to flatten into the mat. Almost as you're trying to lift that leg away, the abs are engaging and creating just that little bit of elevation as well. Good, again, keeping that hand on your hip if you need the stability. You're going to challenge that other glute muscle as well now. So again, a little bit more weight forward, knees pushing down, feet elevated as we continue to go into this clamshell movement, lifting that top knee up. Now again, it's important to state that as you're doing this, your range and my range might be really, really different. Again, generally females have a little bit more range in external rotation than men. That's just, unfortunately, genetics. That's just how the hip position is. Females being slightly wider than males, it allows it to be a slightly easier range. But again, as long as you lift, you feel that glute working. And again, don't be afraid to be hands-on. Feel those muscles working. That's what we want. We want to work hard. Good, try and challenge that range, lift a little bit higher, get a little bit more glute squeeze. Last couple. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Bottom leg rests down, top leg straightens out. Again, a little bit of bend in the knee if you need to. And then from there, we're going to create that little circle. So again, imagine you have a pencil in between your toes. You're drawing a circle the size of a dinner plate. Again, if you feel that little bit of tension was into your IT band, bending the knee a fraction will take that tension away. And reverse the other way.
Couple more. And relax, let the leg drop down. Give a bit of life back to your glute if you need to. Good, same again. Good, shake it out. Same again the other way, 10 repetitions, let's go. Last one, and relax, bring a bit of life back to the glute. Now again, bringing that leg in towards you, letting the knee gently lean away from you is going to be a really nice stretch across that glute. If you need more range because you struggle with a bit of flexibility, bring the leg across, and you can always hug that left leg in, keeping that right leg slightly bent out, enjoying that stretch around your glute. All right, lovely stuff. Grab yourself a quick drink. And now we go into the hard work. Okay, so we're going to split between two different exercises. Today, predominantly, we're going to work on hamstring curls and some lunges. I see you commented about doing inner thigh work. What we're going to do deliberately with our lunges is one of the sets of lunges is going to be quite a wide lunge. That's going to give us some adductor, some inner thigh work to work on our balance. That's probably the best way to work your inner thigh. You don't want to just think about squeezing them. You need to work within a movement as well, okay? All right, so first movement is a lunge. Just have your towel nearby because you will need it shortly, okay? So we're going to do alternate reverse lunges, okay? So all that's going to be is you're going to stand at the top end of your mat, have your feet a little bit apart. And again, we want to keep them on that. What's it's on sort of two planks of wood rather than one. So you're not crossing the leg over the other one. We're thinking about keeping a little width. We're going to step back, slightly extended step. Back knee drops down towards the ground. Push through the front leg, stand up. Same again on the other leg, down and back up. So we're creating this very basic lunge motion, extending away, let the back knee touch down, and come back up. Now again, for a lot of people, your range here is going to be very individual. Keep going if you're happy. If you struggle a little bit with your kind of squatting range and movement, all you can do is you can grab something like a pillow and just limit your range a little bit, so you're just down to the pillow and just do this motion with like more of a split squat up and down. Or if you need to, you can go to a wall and just allow the wall to give you just that little bit more range. Whatever feels comfortable for you, okay? Okay, so we're going to keep alternating through these motions. As you get more and more comfortable, think about leaning forward a little bit more. Get more weight into the front leg. That's ideally what we want to happen. More weight in the front leg, the more work we get in the glute, because your glute works to take us from this flexed hip position up to an extended hip position here. That's glutes. That's what we're trying to do, okay? So down and up. So if we lean back, we don't flex as much, we don't get as much glute. So lean your chest forward towards the front leg, flex more of the hip, drive into the glute as you come up. And that's what I want you to start doing over the next 30 seconds, is getting really comfortable, squeezing and pushing hard toward the top. So it's slow on the way down, control, drive up, big glute squeeze. Good, another 15 seconds. Two more. Time for one more. Good, lovely stuff. So you're starting to get the legs working a little bit, that's great. Now we're going to go into a hamstring curl, okay? So, I'm going to be into a position, I'm just going to move my mat slightly, where your towel is at the end of your mat, okay? So you're going to have your feet on your towel. Now again, if you don't have a slippery surface like a wooden floor, you have a carpet, use a plastic bag or something that's going to be less friction and allow you to slide away, okay? So, bridge position, so your feet are nice and close to your hips. Your heels on the towel, so your toes are lifted up, okay? From here, we're just going to extend the legs away, straightening, and then dig your heels into the ground as hard as you can before bringing the heels back towards you, okay? Let the legs extend, dig the heels in and really drag the hard towards you, okay?
As you extend away, don't lift up through the ribs. Think about what we did earlier in that bridge, that pelvic tilt, that squeeze of your abs. So drawing that towel back in by really dragging the heels into the ground, squeezing into your abdominals, creating that little pelvic tilt that we practiced earlier. Now this first motion shouldn't necessarily be particularly difficult, but you should enable yourself to feel like your hamstrings are creating a gripping sensation. If you need to feel them for a rep, that's absolutely fine. Again, enjoy that it's not too bad, enjoy that they're getting work. This is Pilates, remember. Pilates is about making you move better. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that your function is as perfect as possible. This allows you to work as hard as you can in every other area of training and get even more out of your training. 2 more. Big abs squeeze. You'll be able to feel them as you do this. 1 more. Dig the heels into the ground as hard as you can. Good. Lovely work. Back into our lunges now. So this time, we mentioned it earlier, we're going to be really deliberate about the width of our lunge, okay? I'm going to do one facing towards you first. It's rather than just stepping back, is we're going to create a little bit of extra width. So we're going to take the leg a little bit wider than normal. Down, come back up. Again, create a little bit of extra width. And back up each time, just that extra width. As you do that, be careful of that front knee. Make sure that front knee isn't falling in. Exaggerate it. Almost get it a little bit wide for me, okay? Lean into it a little bit more. As you create that lunge, as you create that little bit of extra width, it's going to rely on your inner thigh and your adductor muscle to make sure that you're not allowing your hips to slide away. Going to keep going with that motion out, alternating the legs like we did before. If you're doing this on a yoga mat, Pilates mat, going about as wide as the mat, it's going to be about perfect here. Again, if like before you struggle with the range, don't have to go all the way down, just enough so you can work through the glutes. Or if you need to use a wall to balance, that's fine. Or even if it's just going into that split squat position where you start wide, hold that position and just push through the front leg up and down. Another 20 seconds here. Keep those knees wide. As you lunge, don't let the knee fall in, push it wide, lean over the front leg. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake the legs out. Very good. Back into our hamstring curl. So back on your flat on your back, back onto your towels, your feet on. Okay, this time, one leg is not going to do any work. It's just going to lift into a tabletop position, squeeze into your abs. From there, push away with the right leg, draw the right leg back in. And as you draw it in, really force it into the ground. The more you dig the heel in, the more that hamstring is going to contract on the way in. Keep that back flat, especially that leg in tabletop. Squeeze into your abs as hard as you can. They should be really engaged now. You should be able to really feel them working. The more your glutes and your hamstrings are active, the better your abs are going to be. As you bring that leg in, make sure the knee doesn't fall inwards. Keep it in a nice line with your hip and shoulder. Really dig the heel in as hard as you can into the ground as you bring it all the way into your backside. So drag the heel all the way up to your backside. Ten. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, leg down. Switch legs, okay? Left foot on. Right leg comes up into tabletop. Again, good ab squeeze, good set through the back. Drive the leg away and then dig the heel in as you pull it back. Again, pull it all the way in so the heel comes all the way up to your backside and away. Again, your hamstring's going to start to work harder yet. It's not going to fall off yet. We're going to save that for the last set, okay? But we're really going to get them fired up. And again, be hands-on. You should be able to. As you pull the heel in, you feel that hamstring. It should be really engaged just to create that tension. 3 repetitions to go. 2 more. 1 more time. Good, lovely stuff. Popping yourself up. Again, hamstring swing, just like we did earlier, just a few reps on each leg. Just make sure that we're keeping a little bit of mobility there. They've worked a little bit through those, a little bit harder than you think they've worked as well. 5 on each leg. Good, now we're going to go back into our lunges. Now this time we're going to add a half repetition, okay? So that means we're going to lunge away, drop down towards the floor, get close to the ground but don't touch. Come up a little bit, come back down, come all the way up. Good, lunge away, down, up a little bit, back down, and back up. We're going to keep this going. So we add this little half rep into each one. Keep that lean forward through the chest. Make sure the knee doesn't fall inwards. Keep a little bit of width in the legs. Not as wide as for the last set, but keep a little bit of width. Don't cross the legs over when you lunge. All we're doing by adding this half repetition is adding what we call time under tension. You're just at that point where the hard work is, which is at the bottom half of this range. That's where we want to spend a bit more time. So we spend more time under tension. You're going to work harder. Your glutes are going to work harder. Your muscles are going to take more tension. That's how we get stronger. That's how we build muscle. That's how we build strength. Again, as before, if you need the wall for balance or you need to do it onto a cushion or do it more statically, that's absolutely fine. And if you need to take a break, that's pretty normal. Lunges are pretty brutal. Try and focus each time you stand up, that big glute squeeze. Don't forget about that. So from down, drive hard. So the slow movement is down, pulse, squeeze hard. 1 more on each leg. Yeah, lovely stuff. I think we must be doing all right. We should be starting to feel the legs. We're going to go into another hamstring curl set. When you're ready, flat onto your back. Now I know what you're thinking, you want it to be a little bit harder. I can kind of tell with you guys. You've been telling me all the time you want a bit more challenge. So we're going to take an ab prep position here, okay? So that means you're going to take your fingertips, link them, and support your head, okay? So at no point should you be able to see your elbows, okay? Keep them wide and support your head. Think about that ab exercise we did earlier where we squeezed into our abs as hard as we can and created this little lift. That's what I want you to do. Little pelvic tilt, flatten through the back. One leg comes up into tabletop. From here, drive away, lift the hips, so the hips just 1 inch off the floor, and then dig the heel in. Lift the hips 1 inch off the floor, drive it away, dig the heel in. Little lift, take the leg away, and pulling in. Each time you get back to the start, just reset that little lift. It's going to be really hard to hold that little lift as you come in, but if you can, you're going to really start to get that right hamstring working here, okay? So little pelvic tilt. Eye line isn't looking at your legs, you're looking at the ceiling, you're just supporting your head. If you feel any tension in your neck and shoulders, just let the head go down, but try and just support your head with the arms. Left leg in tabletop. Little pelvic tilt, squeeze your glutes and lift your backside 1 inch off the floor. Slowly let the leg extend away. Keep that little bit of lift, keep that pelvic tilt, dig the heel in, drag it in without your backside touching down. If you do that correct, you will get a load more hamstring. Keep going. It's not a rushed movement, take your time, slowly extend, feel the tension, draw it back in nice and powerfully. And again. Good, 3 more. Good, keep that little bit of tilt, lift the hips up, just a fraction. Good, 1 more. Good, nice work. Shake the leg out. Same onto the other side for me. Let the head rest. When you're ready, up into that ab prep position. Link the fingers, head supported. Elbows wide, right leg into tabletop. Left heel digging onto the towel. Little pelvic tilt. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs, lift your backside, just a fraction. Let the left leg extend away. And then dig the heel in to bring yourself back in. Reset, pelvic tilt, extend away. And then draw it back in all the way, hip, heel to hip. Keep that little pelvic tilt on the way out. Good. Again, if you want to feel that hamstring working, put your hand on the leg. You should be able to feel it work a little harder now. Last 3 reps. Two more. One more time. Good, lovely work. Shake the legs out. Final set of each. If you want to grab a very quick drink, you can. So lunges this time. We're going to try and do 15 repetitions on one leg, then we switch, okay? We're going to try and add that little pulse like we did before. That is going to be a challenge, okay? We're going to try and get a bit more constant tension. You're getting a little bit of a break this time, okay? So we're going to go right leg back, okay? Left leg is forward. Keep that little bit of width in the legs. Keep a lean forward. Keep that left knee above your 3rd and 4th toe, okay? Try and get 15 reps out if we can. We're doing that half rep at the bottom. Your left glute is going to work really hard to drive you up each time. Let's go. Good, that's 2 reps already. Extend away, lean forward, little pulse, drive up. Good, it's easy, right? Lean forward, knee wide, squeeze into that left glute to drive up. Good, that's 10 repetitions done now. 4 to go. Good, need to lean forward a little bit more if you need to feel it a little bit more. Get that chest over that front leg a little bit more. Good, one last time, lunge away, lean forward, a little bit extra, up and down, push through the heel of the left foot for 10, 9, 8, little movement, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand up, shake the legs. Hopefully you started to feel that through the glute. Walk around a little bit, feel it. Good, same for the right leg now. Left leg is going to step back. Let's go. Down, lean forward, little pulse, drive up, squeeze through that right glute to get to the top. Again, think about that knee staying in line with that 3rd and 4th toe. Really push through that right leg, feel that right glute, really squeeze every time we get to the top. Five more for me. Should be feeling it, legs should be a little fatigued. Alright, one last time, take into that lunge for me. Lean forward a little extra. Push up and down. Push through the right heel. Left knee moves up and down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, relax. Shake the legs out. Move around a little bit. Hopefully you felt that work hard. We go one more set of hamstring curls. And we're going to finish with a little bit of ab work. So when you're ready, flat onto your back for me. We're going to do alternate leg curls. So pelvic tilt, squeeze your abs. Push both legs out. One leg lifts, drag in with the other leg. Both feet down. Push away, one leg up, dragging it in. Dig the heel in as hard as you can. If you worked hard through the other ranges, you've got your hamstrings to engage. They should be tired now. Again, you should be able to feel them working really hard. Keep that ab squeeze flattening through the back. Ab prep position like we did before. It's not lifting your head so you're looking at your knees, you're just lifting your head an inch or two off the floor. Squeeze your abs, pull your lower back down into the floor. We can prevent the hips from tilting, we can squeeze harder in the abs, the hamstrings will work harder. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, time for one more. And relax, very good. Standing up, we're going to go into a leg swing. So again, like we've done before today, one hand on, just let the leg swing. Again, really excited for you to continue to train. If you come and do the resistance band class that we're doing tomorrow as well, we're going to do even more hamstring work. So that work today to get those movements perfect is going to benefit you when you work even harder in those sessions tomorrow. All right, when you're ready, down onto your hands and knees, we're going to go into a box plank, okay? Hands below your shoulders, knees below your hips. Shift a little bit of weight back, no hunching into the shoulders, and lift the knees 1 inch. We're just going to hold here, okay? As you hold, don't hunch. Keep that squeeze under your armpits for me. Don't lift up too high. Think about the knees being just 1 inch off the floor and holding that position. Control your breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you do that, think about your pelvic tilt as well. Think about what we've done today. Squeeze your glutes, push the knees a little bit wide as you hold that position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, take a deep breath. And we do it again. Hands below your shoulders, knees below your hips. Weight into your feet, squeeze the glutes, engage your abs and lift the knees up. And we hold. Shoulders away from the ears, eye line straight down between your hands. Knees pushed a little bit wide if you wish, but pull through your abs. Create that pelvic tilt so we're flat through the back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We come forward now into a full plank position. So we're going to do this on our hands and our toes. If you find that tough, just drop down onto your knees and do it on your hands and knees, okay? So we're going to be in a full press up position, and all we're going to do is basically a shoulder tap. So we're going to be in a position where from this full push up, you can take your left hand, touch your right shoulder, bring it back down, right hand touches your left shoulder. Again, if you need to be kneeling, it can still be a challenge. But again, if you can do it in a full, stay up in that full push-up. Same idea about squeezing under your armpits, engaging your abs is important. No one drops through the lower back. If anything, hips a fraction higher is better than lower. Just alternating. And when you do it, this isn't a quick slap of your shoulder. We're touching and back down. We're controlling. And each repetition you do, and continue to do it as I talk, is don't allow your body to shift from side to side. See if you can stay stable. Feet as wide as you can will help you have a solid base. See if you can squeeze your glutes and abs as hard as you can so that you don't move as you're doing this. See if you can be as stable as you can so that when you take that arm away, your body doesn't want to move. Slow with the arm. Squeeze through the abs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. Take a deep breath. Nearly there. Nearly there. We're going to do that one more time, and we have just one more exercise left. All right, back up onto your hands and toes, feet wide. 8 touches on each side for me. Let's go. Be as stable as you can. Squeeze your glutes and abs. Again, it's not a rush. Slow it down. Challenge yourself to move your hands really slowly in. Control it through your abs. Create that pelvic tilt as we did all day.
3 more. 1 more. Good, lovely stuff. We're going to finish with a dead bug now. We've done this a few times in the last few sessions. Hopefully you should be getting better at it. So, flat onto your back. Your abs, your core engagement muscles should be tired by now. Okay, so this should be a challenge. Take your time, reset if you need to. Hands point at the ceiling, legs into tabletop, okay? So knees above your hips, feet flat out in front, hands pointing at the ceiling. Little pelvic tilt whilst you're here, try not to arch through the back. Breathe in. As you breathe in, left arm is going to go past your left ear as your right foot comes down to the ground. Touch the toes onto the ground, bring them both back up towards the ceiling. This is not about moving fast. This is about being perfectly controlled through the abs as we create this movement. Now, if you've really engaged your abs, you've created a great pelvic tilt and you've challenged them today, you shouldn't take long to feel them in this movement. Again, nice and slow with the movement. Keep that control through your core. Don't let your ribcage lift. If you need a regression here, don't worry about the arms, keep the arms down. Just work on the legs doing the movement if you need to. "30 seconds to go. Each repetition, squeeze hard into your abs, as hard as you can. See if you can work them a little bit more. "10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Hug the knees in, give them a good squeeze. Little rock from side to side. Hands wide, knees bent, feet flat, and just let both knees drop to one side. And then over to the other side into a little pendulum stretch. Nice work. Pop yourself up and the legs swing just as we've done a few times today. Keep those hamstrings nice and stretched. A few on each leg. And congratulations. Tuesday morning Pilates is done. You're now free to enjoy the sunshine. I hope you had fun, and again, hopefully you're continuing to improve as you do more and more of each of these exercises. They are things, it's a progression-based thing. They are things you're going to get better and better at. That's why we repeat them to get good. And again, we're going to use these movements. We're going to teach you how to move correctly, so that when we do the resistance band class, when we do other classes, when we challenge you further in the future, these movements are the building blocks of that, the foundation of those movements. So if you struggle with any of these movements, don't be disappointed. Challenge yourself during this lockdown to get great at these things so that after the lockdown, you're going to be able to train even better and be even better, okay? Guys, I hope you had fun. Again, please do leave me any messages, any feedback about how the class was. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 12 o'clock for resistance band classes. And if not that, then Thursday morning, 9 AM Pilates, I'll see you there for sure. It'll be a little bit more upper body, a little bit more lower ab work, again, a little bit of posture as well. It was a pleasure as always, and I'll see you guys soon. Glad you enjoyed it, Laura. Antonio, glad you enjoyed it. Neil's good to see you in. Barry's got off to abs now as well. Olga, good to see you. Lillian, if you send me a message, a private message, we'll just have a quick chat about that. Ruth, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Angela, good to see you in. Hope you're doing well. Faza, glad you enjoyed it as well. That's great. Lillian, I will send you a message privately and we'll have a quick chat about it. Marion, good to see you in again as well. Hope you continue to work hard. Yeah, Lillian will definitely have, Goldie will definitely get more legs work for sure. Lillian, I will send you a message. Angie, glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I hope you and Gary are well out in Marbella. And I hope I'll see you guys for some more classes.